The Right Thing got many people to start talking about race, and the issues brought up in the 1989 film still resonate years later. I'm Shamari with Binside TV, and today I'm in New York City at the Directors Guild checking out a special screening of the film. Spike Lee is here along with some of the cast members for the 20th year anniversary of this groundbreaking flick. Let's take a look.
I read the script. Well, this is like, you know, like not like opening a newspaper, but it had that energy, and it also had humor. And I think that, you know, with the visual style of it, was part of its success. And if you see it now, you know, people thought it was so incendiary. It wasn't that incendiary, but he really did kind of break, you know, open doors to lots of different black filmmakers, black films that black people and white people go see, and you know, it's an exciting movie. It's still exciting. We recently saw Lincoln Center, and I was like, I think I like it better now. It's aged really well.
Everybody else was outside. I had no air conditioning in there, and they only came in there when it was raining because I was the cover set. So I sat in there. I slept a lot. I looked out the window, wished I was outdoors, working with all the guys that were outdoors, and kind of wishing I had a bigger part. But it turned out great for me.
So why did you decide to take the role up? Because Spike Lee?
Because Spike called me, number one, and I was not in a position to turn down any job at that point in my career.
How did that role open up doors for you, if it did?
It got me my next job in my next Spike Lee film.
Spike, when he was sweethearting me, trying to get me to do the movie, he took me to Yankee games, he took me to the Knicks games, and eventually I decided, yeah, if we make some script changes, I'm very much interested. But other than that, I don't know what to say except to tell you that I'm very happy to have been a part of it. And 20 years later, to think this is happening is absolutely incredible. It was big 20 years ago, but it even seems to be bigger now. Being number 96 on the greatest movies ever made.
I got it up higher than that for myself, personally.
I can't even believe that, and I'm one of the stars of it. I mean, it's like, you know, I was nominated for an Academy Award for this movie, which I always thank Spike for, because it wouldn't have happened had I not worked. But the Bobby De Niro thing, it's been said that he asked Bobby, and Bobby said, ask Danny Aiello, because I've already done this movie. Because Bobby's a close friend, and of course I just met Spike then. But Spike was blatantly honest. He said, initially I wanted Bobby, but I said Bobby wasn't going to get no nomination, remember?
And this film so much captured 1989, and as far as being a cast member, the casting was very important. How did Spike Lee originally approach you to be in the film?
I was a college student, and I was at a nightclub, and I walked in, and he was having a butt contest to see which black girl had the biggest butt. So I jumped on the stage and ridiculed the whole scene, and then he had his people call me over to him, and I started crying because I thought they were going to throw me out. And he said, tonight is fate. That was it. The rest is history.
The film dealt with race in a way in which no other film at that time was. Did you know right away that you were being a part of something that was just so spectacular?
Yes, I did. When I first read the script, I called Spike and I said, this is a brilliant movie. I was like, do you know the impact it's going to have? And he says, hell yeah. And so I understood it quite well.
What do you think of the critics and what they were saying at the film at that time as far as the reviews?
I really didn't care, because I remember we were watching dailies at night, which is unusual. All the actors would, after 10 hours on the set, run to this place, to this auditorium, and we would watch dailies. And we knew as we were watching the dailies what was happening. We had Stevie Wonder come one night and walk through the set late at night, and I knew, I was like, we're going to be off and running. This is going to take hold of a lot of people. And there were a lot of little things like that that happened. those 10 weeks that we were there. It was a lot of people coming through. Mike Tyson at the time, who was at the height of his fame, was there. I mean, he's from there.
As people watch the film today, what do you think they can walk away with as far as message and otherwise?
How much has changed and how much hasn't changed? I think that's the biggest message. That there has been progress. I think for Black and Latino actors, this was a benchmark for Black and Latina for me.
Both on camera and behind the scenes, right?
All over the place. Everybody that worked on this film later went on. Costume designer, wardrobe mistress, she won an Academy Award, 4 or 5 years later. Spike, Sam, others, Tuturro, myself, everybody garnered a career because of being involved with this film.
What was the most crucial part of making this movie? Like what really inspired you to make this film?
All the stuff that was happening in New York City and the time we made it. Yusuf Hawkins, Howard Beach, Eleanor Bumpers, Mayor Ed Koch.
I think Radio Raheem was Spike's take on Michael Stewart, and this is still happening, and so it really does still reflect the times. If you look back, with the colors and the costumes and the music and all of that, that's definitely indicative of 1989. But I think in terms of the social issues and the racial tension, I think all of that stuff is still alive and well, still current. It may be 20 years since I've seen Do the Right Thing. I tend not to go back and watch some of the early, but I think it's been that long because I can't recall how long it's been, so I'm going to just say it's been 20 years since I've seen it.
And we've been hearing that it was the first date movie of the first family.
Yes, isn't that cool? That's really, really exciting. That makes me feel really happy and proud of Spike, and yeah, that's amazing.
Kept me working with Spike because we all had a great ensemble together.
So that movie was
Jungle Fever.
Jungle Fever.
Well, next movie was Mo Better Blues, and then it was Jungle Fever. Then I became a movie star.
And 20 years later,
I'm a movie star.
Right, but 20 years later, how has Do the Right Thing, it was an important social commentary at that time. Like, how have things changed?
What's the question?
How have things changed?
They have not changed. There's still situations like Do the Right Thing. There are still racial problems. We have a black president now, but that's about it. Things are still tense. It's summer. We'll see.
It was a hot mess.
This is before Crumpin'.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was doing. It was a hodgepodge of Soul Train mixed with hip hop, mixed with I don't know what else to do. And Otis Salid helped me with the choreography, the choreographer Otis Salid, and it was hell on earth, and that's why it looks so fiery. So it was torture. That was 8 hours of filming.
Hey Sankey, it's my brother. And you got to work with some of the very, very, very important people, even Robin Harris. And I know you're funny yourself, so I can imagine what that was like for you.
Yeah, I knew Robin. Robin was a great guy, but yeah, Martin Lawrence's first job, Steve White. There were a lot of comedians in that movie. So yeah, they were around. They kept us laughing all the time, so it was great.
You really believe that a lot of things have not changed?
No, I'm just kidding.
Are you just kidding? Celebrating the 20th year anniversary.
This is a very nice occasion. One of my first for me being here. So, what is it you want to ask me?
I want to know what you thought about the film when the first time you saw it.
Oh well, it's been some time since I've seen the film, and my memory is slipping past me as I get to be 81, July the 23rd.
Congratulations! So many things to celebrate here on the red carpet.
Say that again.
I said there's so many things to celebrate here today on the red carpet. In addition to your birthday, I'm going to wish you not a belated birthday, but a pre-birthday. Happy birthday.
Well, it's very nice, and I appreciate the media's interest in Spike.
There's a lot of rehearsals, a lot of discussion, a lot of improvising. And once people got comfortable, people said, well, this is how it really should be. And then some people didn't want to do certain things, some people did. So it was an exciting movie to make.
The cast plays such a strong part in the film itself. It's a great ensemble cast. How did you prepare for your role, and what did you want to bring?
I grew up as a minority in an all-black neighborhood. I was bussed out, so I had a lot of experiences. You know, all my friends were black. When I moved to a white neighborhood, everybody thought like I was Puerto Rican or or a mulatto, and so I had this and Jungle Fever. I had lots of personal things that I knew, and once I got comfortable with Spike and Ernest, I was like, I would share more with them.
Now, New York City is known definitely as a melting pot of cultures. How true does that story ring, and why do you think that so many of the critics were kind of like...
I think people just weren't used to seeing that kind of thing. And that the city was tenser at that time.
Watching Binside TV.
Check us out on the web